Hello students. Today's topic is the difference between uniform circular motion and a non-uniform circular motion. This difference I will discuss with the help of illustration. Before I start actual explaining the difference between uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion, let's understand what is force. Force is a physical quantity which required to set a body in motion or stop a moving body. As well, the force is required to change the direction of motion. If the force is applied in the direction of motion, it increases the magnitude of velocity, that is speed. When the applied force is in the opposite direction of motion, it decreases the magnitude of velocity, that is speed. But when the applied force is perpendicular to the direction of motion, it changes the direction of velocity. This knowledge of the force we require for the explanation of the difference between uniform circular motion and a non-uniform circular motion. We know, student, in the circular motion, the object changes its direction continuously. Then there must be a force which is perpendicular to the direction of motion. In a circular motion, centripetal acceleration or the centripetal force is perpendicular to the direction of motion. Here in the diagram you can see the centripetal force, which is also known as the radial force or the radial acceleration, which is directed along the radius towards the center, and the instantaneous velocity is perpendicular to the centripetal acceleration. From this discussion, we can say, student, the centripetal force is a necessary force for circular motion because the centripetal force is responsible to change the direction of motion of an object. In the given example, tension in the string provides the centripetal force or the radial force. During the motion of the rock, the weight of the rock acts vertically downward, but this weight not able to accelerate the stone. It is because there is no any component of the motion or the velocity in the direction of mg. Mg, that is the gravitational acceleration, is always act vertically downward. So it just affects the component those are in the vertical direction. As you can see here, student, even though mg is perpendicular to the velocity, that is the direction of a motion, it not able to accelerate or change the direction of the motion. It is again, I repeat, student, because even though mg is perpendicular to the v, but there is no component of v in the direction of mg, that mg component not able to accelerate the stone. So in this motion, you can observe, student, the centripetal acceleration or the radial acceleration only changes the direction of a velocity and keep the magnitude of velocity, that is speed, constant. Hence, the horizontal circular motion is called uniform circular motion. So again, I repeat, the centripetal acceleration or the radial acceleration is due to change in the direction of velocity and not due to change in the magnitude of velocity. Now, let's find the linear acceleration in a case of a uniform circular motion. Again, we are taking the example of the sling. In the uniform circular motion, the object traces equal angle in equal interval of time, so that both the d theta, that is the angle trace or the angular displacement of the object, is same. So that the d theta by dt, which give the angular velocity, also constant. But as the angular velocity is constant, the change in angular velocity, which is equal to angular acceleration, which denoted by the symbol alpha, is equal to 0. Now, let's see the direction of instantaneous velocity. Direction of instantaneous velocity is a tangent to the circle and perpendicular to the radius at every point. As you can see, student, the magnitude of radius is constant, but at every position, the direction of radius go on changing. So the change in the direction of the radius vector gives the velocity v bar. which just indicate the change in the direction of the radius vector. This v bar, that is the instantaneous velocity, is just due to the change in the direction of a radius vector. So when I consider the equation v bar is equal to omega bar cross r bar, now let's differentiate it. dv by dt is equal to d omega upon dt cross r bar plus omega bar cross dr by dt. In this given equation, you can see, student, the d omega by dt for the uniform circular motion is 0. And that's why only the part of the equation left is dv by dt equal to omega bar cross dr by dt, where the dr by dt gives the velocity due to change in the direction of a radius vector. So here A is the linear acceleration, which is equal to dv by dt. A is equal to omega bar cross v bar. For dr by dt, I substitute v bar. Remember, student, this dv by dt, what is written on the left side of the equation, is the resultant acceleration. So here we know the velocity is completely explained by its magnitude and the direction. But here in this example of a uniform circular motion, the magnitude of the velocity remains same and its direction changes. And that's why the d omega upon dt cross r bar, which represents the magnitude part of a velocity, and omega bar cross dr by dt represents the direction part of a velocity. Out of those, only the direction of part of a velocity gives us the final acceleration or the linear acceleration. Why it is called the linear acceleration? Because it gives us the acceleration in a linear motion, that is instantaneous velocity v1, v2, v3, etc. So the resultant acceleration or the linear acceleration is equal to radial acceleration or the centripetal acceleration, because omega bar cross v bar gives us the centripetal acceleration. From this discussion, we understand, student, in the uniform circular motion, there is only acceleration, which is the centripetal acceleration or the radial acceleration, which is responsible to change the direction of a velocity. This acceleration not able to change the magnitude of velocity. It is because the acceleration, the centripetal acceleration, is act along the radius towards the center and perpendicular to the direction of motion, or in the other word, it is perpendicular to the instantaneous velocity at that point. Now let's revolve the same sling in a vertical circle. When you revolve the sling in a vertical circle, you observe that at every position, the tension T1 act towards the center of the circle. The force which is act along the radius towards the center responsible or gives the centripetal acceleration or provides centripetal force for the circular motion. Similarly, you can observe the weight mg of the stone is act vertically downward. As I see the direction and magnitude of mg, it is a constant at every position. But the magnitude and the direction of a tension and that of the instantaneous velocity at every position go on changing. When I observe the motion of the stone from bottom to top, I observe that the tension and the instantaneous velocity go on decreasing. So that we can, similarly, when I observe the motion of the stone from the top to bottom, I observe the tension and that of the instantaneous velocity go on increasing. At every position, if you observe, student, at every position there is a change in the tension and that of the instantaneous velocity is periodic change. It is not a random change. It is a periodic change at every position. So why this periodic change can happen? Because there is a force which is the gravitational force and which is nothing but the conservative force act on the stone at every position. So due to influence of Earth's gravitational field, the magnitude of velocity of the body and the tension in string change continuously. Now let's understand it more precisely. Now suppose that initially the object or the stone is at position A. Let's see what are the forces act at a position A. The tension T1 in the string act along the string towards the center of the circle, and the mg act vertically downward. Va is the instantaneous velocity at a position A. After certain instant of a time, the ball reach at position P by tracing the angle theta, where the theta is the angular displacement. Now let's see what are the forces act on the stone at position P. The tension which is act along the string towards the center. Let's call this tension as a T2. The tension T2 indicate that it is different from the T1, that is a tension at position A. Vp is the instantaneous velocity at position P, and mg which is act vertically downward. Now let's resolve mg. When I resolve mg, here we have a angle theta. So this component of the mg is mg cos theta, and this one is the mg sin theta. If you observe the diagram, you can see, student, the tension in the string which is act along the radius towards the center and perpendicular to the direction of instantaneous velocity Vp. So this tension in the string is provide necessary centripetal force for the vertical motion of the stone. So that I can write the T2 minus mg cos theta is equal to m Vp square upon r. As you can see, student, over here, the component mg cos theta of the mg act opposite to that of the T2. Hence, we write the equation T2 minus mg cos theta is equal to mp square upon r. So the total tension T2 is not responsible for the centripetal acceleration or the centripetal force. So T minus mg cos theta provides the necessary centripetal force for the circular motion. So the AR, which is the radial acceleration or centripetal acceleration, which is equal to Vp square upon r. Now, again I repeat, this radial acceleration or the centripetal acceleration is due to change in the direction of velocity. Again I repeat, the centripetal acceleration act along the radius and perpendicular to the direction of motion. So such acceleration is only responsible to change the direction of velocity and not magnitude of velocity. So again, if you observe carefully, you observe that there is one more component of mg, which is mg sin theta, which act opposite to the direction of a Vp along the same length, along the same line. As we discussed in the previous part of this video, that if the force is in opposite direction of the motion, it decreases its speed. As you can see, student, this mg sin theta and that of instantaneous velocity both are act tangent to the circle. Hence, the acceleration due to this is known as a tangential acceleration. So this mg sin theta component is responsible to change the magnitude of velocity, but its direction is along the tangent. Hence, it is known as a tangential acceleration. Here, due to change in the speed of the object, the stone is not able to cover equal distance in equal interval of time. Or other word, due to different arc length get traced in the equal interval of a time, the angular displacement at every instant is also different. So that Here the d theta by dt is equal to d omega, which is the change in the angular velocity. So in a case of a non-uniform circular motion, the angular velocity or the angular speed go on changing. So due to change in the angular velocity, we can write d omega by dt equal to alpha, where the alpha is the angular acceleration. Now let's discuss linear acceleration for the non-uniform circular motion. For that we use v bar is equal to omega bar cross r bar. So when I differentiate it, I have a dv bar upon dt is equal to d omega bar upon dt cross r bar plus omega bar cross dr by dt. Here the part d omega upon dt cross r bar gives us the change in the magnitude of the velocity, and the omega bar cross dr by dt gives us change in the direction part of a velocity. So I can write for the d omega by dt is equal to alpha, which is the angular acceleration, dr by dt, which is equal to v bar, that is the change in the that is linear velocity, which is due to change in the direction of a radius vector. So let's substitute the value. A bar is the linear acceleration. So the linear acceleration, which is also known as the resultant acceleration, equal to alpha bar cross r bar plus omega bar cross v bar. This alpha bar cross r bar gives a tangential acceleration, and omega bar cross v bar gives the radial acceleration. So in a case of non-uniform circular motion, there are two acceleration. One acceleration due to change in the direction of the velocity, or other is due to change in the magnitude of velocity. So the basic difference between the uniform and the non-uniform circular motion is that in the uniform circular motion, motion is happen because of the radial acceleration, which is act perpendicular to the direction of motion and only responsible to change the direction of velocity. But when I deal with the non-uniform circular motion, this non-uniform circular motion possesses one more acceleration, that is a tangential acceleration along with the radial acceleration. This tangential acceleration is due to change in the magnitude of velocity. So hope you understand the difference between the two. Thank you.